Welcome to this special edition of Africa 360. This week we continue with our ongoing focus on Zimbabwe as we bring you all the controversy and contention around the 2013 general elections. We're coming to you from Harare in Zimbabwe. I'm Chris Maroleng and this is Africa 360. Traumatized by the violence that marred the 2008 elections, this is the moment the 5 years of a government of national unity have led up to. Robert Mugabe, the only president Zimbabwe has ever known, went head-to-head with Prime Minister Morgan Tsvangirai. But what played out as a peaceful poll took a turn for the worst as the Movement for Democratic Change outright accused ZANU-PF of vote rigging. The Zimbabwean 2013 elections, dubbed the harmonious elections, saw Zimbabweans take to the polls to decide who would lead them. These elections occurred in a relatively peaceful environment, and this is in stark contrast to the violence that characterized the 2008 elections. However, this time around, regional observers were here to watch the situation closely, and this is what they had to say.
Our conclusion mainly is that the issue of fairness, free and legitimacy of election is compromised. That's our position.
The election is free, fairness, fairly, credible, unless there's any other thing to prove beyond the incidences that we have already mentioned.
While the 360 team and I were here in Zimbabwe, we covered every angle of these elections, from press briefings, indeed, even to the polls. And this is what we saw. These are the scenes outside a polling station here on the outskirts of Harare. This constituency is Highfields. At stake here in these elections is the presidency, and there will be 4 candidates vying for this position. President Robert Mugabe, representing ZANU-PF, Morgan Tsvangirai, and Welshman Ngube, representing 2 separate factions of the Movement for Democratic Change. They will also be joined in this in this election by Dumiso Dabengwa. Now, there are also 210 parliamentary seats that will be at stake here, and it's expected that this vote will be crucial in the history of Zimbabwe, as it will be the first after the end of a government of national unity. Earlier on, Prime Minister Morgan Tsvangirai cast his vote at this polling station in Mount Pleasant in Harare. It is expected that a high voter turnout in urban areas will result in a favorable outcome for the MDC at the polls.
Anyone who is at the queue, even by 7 o'clock, the officers have to clear. So they have no motivation to delay it. They should be able to clear everyone. Anyone who is at this line, at this queue, should be able to become.
5 years in the making, Zimbabwe was gripped by election fever. Despite concerns over his health and age, the 89-year-old Robert Mugabe hit the campaign trail in Bulawayo and Harare within days of each other.
With every little thing, you always complain, saying ZEC is doing something wrong.
Despite complaints about the short notice given before elections, these polls saw open campaigning. Election day was calmer, though, with no confirmed incidents of violence reported. Zimbabweans were there to vote for a better Zimbabwe. The peace was short-lived, though, as the MDC alleged vote rigging long before the final count.
It is our view that this election is null and void, does not meet SADC AU international standards for a credible, legitimate, free and fair election.
And as results trickled in, the MDC's objections grew louder. Just what the election will bring for Zimbabwe, though, remains to be seen.
You are telling the people who have voted in one direction that they don't matter. We don't care a damn about you. You think you don't like us? We don't like you either.